Before we jump in today's video, I just want to remind everybody that I'm not a financial advisor. So this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be taken as financial, investment, or trading advice. All investments involve risk, and you should do your own research or consult with a licensed financial professional before making any investment decisions. Just remember, past performance is not indicative of future results.
Hey guys, it's Paul here on my channel, Better Call Paul, and today I'm wearing my Ozzy Osbourne t-shirt because this portfolio is starting to rock and roll again. Now, with a little bit of help from the market and all the work we've been putting into it in the past 6 months have finally paid off. And what do I mean by that? I mean we are now in our fourth or fifth week of rising income. So week over week, we are seeing our income going up. And that's exactly what we want to see in a daily snowball portfolio. So I'm going to show you a couple of tweaks that I made to the portfolio. And I'm also going to show you, the rising numbers. Now, they're not huge, but week over week progress is exactly what we want to see. And I'm hoping to keep this snowball going. So let's jump right into it and see what we're going to do, including a live buy for today. All right, guys, today we're going to start a little bit different. We're going to look at this first. And you can see here that we had a couple of great weeks earlier on in the year where we hit $500, but then it sort of tanked from there and went all the way down to 388. And that was pretty depressing. But then you could see the week after that, we hit 407, which was not bad, but not great again. And then all of a sudden, we were up to 467, and then 472, and then 474. And now we're at 482. But can we get this number a little bit higher before the end of the week? All right, taking a look at this portfolio, what we're going to do is we're going to make a change with one of these ETFs. So let's go through them one by one, first of all. We have blocks, which has been pretty consistent recently, but finally broke out of that 10 cent range and hit 1171, which was nice to see a little bit of an increase. And MSTW stayed consistent at 13 cents. Now, it was much better here at 16 cents, but we're going to take what we can get. There's not much we can do about it. Top W, the share price has increased quite a bit, and I'm almost even on this position, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, this week, the distribution did drop a little bit to 24 cents. But again, we're going to take everything we can. It all adds up. YBTC, I'm gonna have to say that this one has been a little bit disappointing. And again, this week, now we're down 15 cents. Last week was a decent week at 17 cents, but dropped down again this week. Alti, this is actually a really bad week. You can see that it was paying over 40 cents, down to 39 cents, and then this week at 27 cents. Although I looked at my distribution in my RBC account, and it was the same as last week. So I wonder if I somehow have this number wrong. I might have to double check that one. All right, guys. So the big winner for this week again is of course Chippy. And if you look back 4 weeks ago, you can see it was paying 50 cents, which was fantastic. And then it shot up to 60 cents for 2 weeks in a row. And now with the share price over $70, hitting $75, they've hit us with a 66-cent distribution. And this is fantastic. Part of me wants to sell this position because I'm up 37% in just 2 months. And that doesn't even include the distributions. But, the higher the share price goes, the higher the distribution goes. So I'm holding on to this one for now. I hope I don't hold on to it too long, meaning, at some point in time, if semiconductors cool off and the share price tanks. But for right now, it seems to be doing really well, so I can't complain. I really lucked into this one. Thanks again to everybody who recommended it. All right, guys, this is really helping my portfolio this week because I have so many shares of QDTE and RDTE. When they're in the green, when their distributions are going up, that equals for me more money, right? So you can see that QDTE had 3 pretty much bad weeks in a row and finally jumped up to 21 cents. I'd like to see this even higher, but 21 cents is a lot better than what it's been paying recently. Now, RDTE had a good week 4 weeks ago at 20 cents, dropped down to 17 for a few weeks, but it's back up to 19 this week. So we'll take it. Misty didn't have a bad week when you really think about it. Last week was 55. This week's 53. A few weeks ago was down to 48. So, I'll take 53 cents. I'm not going to complain about that at all. I would like to see, of course, the share price rising and the distribution going up as well. Be nice to get, Misty. Well, I used to pay, $1, $2, $3 a month. I guess when you think about it, 53 cents 4 times a month is still $2. Although, there was the 5-for-1 reverse split. So mathematically, that doesn't work out. All right, guys, I'm just so excited. I'm not even making sense this morning. Here's what I decided to do. I haven't bought any Misty shares in a long, long time. And after they did the 5-for-1 reverse split, my average cost was $114. So I decided this month not to buy any more HHIS.U because it's over my average cost right now. And instead, I decided to buy 6 more shares of Misty, which brought my average cost down to $99 and it increased my share count to 36. So now we're at 36 shares, and that will, of course, bring up the distribution a little bit, right? So instead of $16, I'm making $19. So now instead of 482 or whatever it was, it's now 487.17, right? 355 Canadian, 487.17 US. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to make that change to 487.17, which looks a little bit better than it did before. Okay, so what I've done is I've added this column here for Misty. As you can see, so far I haven't bought any more TDAC, but I did mention we're going to do a live buy today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at buying an additional 15 shares of TDAC because I'd really like to get up to that 900 mark. And then from 900, we're going to try to get to 1,000. So we're going to do that, which will, of course, increase my distribution this month. I think next week is the ex-dividend date for anybody who's looking to buy. You probably have to buy it maybe by Monday or Tuesday at the latest to get paid next week on the 20th, if I'm correct. So you can see here, I didn't buy any more HHISU, but I did buy the 6 shares of MSTY, and I think I will keep buying these for a little while. We'll see how that goes, see how that helps increase my weekly income. Guys, so here we are in my Wealthsimple account, and you can see here on the right that I have $1,654 accumulated. I haven't bought anything in quite a while, and I get US distributions on a daily basis. So this just keeps growing. So this is TDAC right now. It's currently at $28.38, which is a lot more than I want to pay for it. You can see my average price is $25.52, but this doesn't seem to be showing any signs of slowing down for right now. So I'm not going to put all of my available capital into it, but I think I'm just going to buy 15 shares. We'll just do a quick market buy so it goes through while we're doing this. So there's 15 shares will be $426. Will still leave me about $1,200 to spend. All right, next. Submit order. All right, guys, there you go. We just bought 15 shares of TDAC. Let's see what that does. So 900 shares, average price $25.57. I don't think that increased much at all because I do have so many shares. Such a small buy doesn't really affect your average price a lot. All right, so that's fantastic. I'm happy about that. All right, so here we are in our monthly pairs chart, and we will add the extra shares. So now we're at 900. I still have this blank because I checked the website for Tap Alpha, and they haven't released what the distribution is going to be. Now, I have a feeling like it's going to be up a little bit. I could be wrong, but it's been such a tear lately. I think this is going to be higher. But let's say even if it's just what it was last month, which was 35 cents, plug that in there. That would put us at 949.61 Canadian. Okay, guys. So this is all in US, and then this is in Canadian. Now, if we come down here, all right. So if we come down to this chart, you guys can see that I've put in the 487.17 for this week. We still have 2 more weeks to go. All right, and we have to put in the monthly. So just for fun, I kind of took a look at this. If we could get 450 for the next 2 weeks and put in 949, that would mean this month we would total 3283. So that'd be fantastic. That would really, blow out all these numbers and but again, just keep in mind that there was the extra Friday. So that helps out a lot, obviously. But as you can see, 472 beat the first week of last. This one beat it. This one beat it. And then we'll have to see exactly what these 2 weeks end up being. So we're in our daily snowball portfolio. You can see I didn't add to any of these. I decided to add to MSTY instead. I have been keeping track of these share prices. We could go through them right now quickly as we're making this video and see what we're at. All right, just for fun, let's go through each one of these and see what it currently sits at. I'm not sure really if the market's going up or down today. But just for fun, we'll do this really, really quickly. So right now, this is at 1756. So that makes my loss obviously a little bit more because the price went down. MSTW, where is that at today? MSTW is at 856. It's down a little bit. So 856. Again, that brings it down a bit. So top W, this one is up 39.70. This is the one I really wanted to show you guys. As you can see, right now we're negative 4.47%. At one point, this was down like 20 or 30%. So it's recovered a lot, which is amazing. That's why, guys, never panic sell. Okay, don't get too excited. When the market's up or down, right? The market, you're gonna have your highs and you're gonna have your lows, but don't overreact to either situation. Okay, and what about YBTC? This one really hasn't impressed me, but it is up a little bit today, which is nice to see. So we're at 22.75, and that helps a little bit. All right. Now, I think for a while, I'm going to keep adding to my MSTY position, but once I get that one, built up a little bit more, then I will work on one of these as well. All right, so for right now, guys, I'm just going to keep working on TDAC, which I just added 15 more shares today. I'm going to keep working on MSTY. That one pays weekly, so hopefully we'll see an increase in our distributions on a weekly basis. The TDAC only pays once a month, so we just keep buying that and try to improve it for the following month. I really like the NASDAQ seems to be on a tear lately. I really would like to see that pull back a little bit, so that I could buy my last 100 shares with the money that I have and not overpay for this ETF. But at the same time, I guess, you have to pay for quality, and TDAC has proven that it can drop down to, I think it was at $22 a share, which was $3 under its launch price. And now it's getting close to $29. So, the price appreciation doesn't matter if you're not selling, but I believe they'll be able to pay a higher distribution, which will be exactly what we're looking for, higher distributions on a monthly basis. All right, guys, I hope everybody had a great week. I'm really excited again about this daily snowball portfolio. I'm glad that I didn't stop doing this series. I wanted to show that even though we started really, really high back in October and we crashed hard, you can see now that we're coming back to where we were. Not quite as high as we were back in October, but we're getting there. And Bitcoin is only hovering around $80,000. Imagine when it hits 90, right? Or 100,000. I could be wrong, but I think this portfolio is going to be flying. So we'll wait and see if that happens. Anyways, guys, until the next video, bye for now.